Anusha, did you at any point consider asking Aamir to act in the film?
I did. Uh, at a lot of points, because the period in which that we are talking about between the film getting written and the film being made is about 4 years. So there were points, yes, but then there was entire casting process, and then when started getting actors who were different and could not have possibly come, there's a certain known quality to a actor, but the
A known
value,
actor, yeah.
a known actor, but then there are values. The value of that can also be in a project can be lessened. So
You mean stardom could take away some of the authenticity? Is that what you're saying?
it could.
Okay.
So that was a decision we took finally to cast Natha as Natha.
So you mean this is something you all have discussed, the possibility of Aamir playing Natha, right?
Yeah, we did discuss it. We were also toying with the idea of, we were toying with the idea, and in that we decided the best way to figure out is to do a screen test. And if it works in the screen test, then it would work. But before we got down to the screen test,
You mean you yourself doing a screen test for the role?
Yeah, yeah.
Screen test.
Okay. Screen test for the
But we
role.
never got around to doing
We
the
never
screen
got
test.
around to doing it. And in the meantime, Anusha and Mahmood found Omkar. And Anusha and Mahmood both liked him a lot. They were testing him for another part actually. And they showed me his test, and I loved it as well. So all three of us were equally excited about Omkar playing Natha. And then we found that there was no need for me to test anymore. There was no way in hell I could ever come close to what he was doing.
Really? He's
Yeah,
that good?
he's very good.
But does it make you feel a little sad though, the thought that the fact that you're a star could take away some of the authenticity from, or the way the public might accept a role?
Well, that comes with being a celebrity. That comes with being a star. It's double-edged. So while being a star brings you eyeballs to the film, it might, if you're not careful, or if you're not able to, it might disturb the film also, if you're not able to carry it off. So there are a number of films where a star adds and brings in and fits in really well, but there are certain films, especially films which are meant to be more real. There, either you have the ability to shed your stardom for the part and integrate and mingle in and be on the same sur with the other cast, which is not easy. One, and it might still be disturbing. With all the best efforts that you put in, you might still disturb the material.
Okay. The film, of course, is about farmer suicide, and yet it's a satirical look at it, right? No,
It's not. No, it's not on farmer suicide. So
Okay.
to begin with, it's a film which is dealing with a larger alienation of the rural setup within India, which cannot, in terms of the fact that we have 70% of rural India.
I mean, if you look at it just literally,
Even literally.
Natha does decide that he will commit suicide.
Yeah,
right?
but that does not necessarily translate into farmer suicides as the issue that we face today.
All right.
That should not be confused at all.
All
in
right.
fact.
I mean, you can view the film in the backdrop of what's been happening in the last 2 decades vis-a-vis farmer suicides, but the story or the plot itself actually doesn't go into at all the issues that farmers face in particular, and which is why they have been committing suicide, or what are the troubles that they are facing. It doesn't go there at all. So, technically speaking, if Natha was not a farmer, if he was a cobbler, or if he was a weaver, or any other profession, I don't think the plot would have changed really.
Okay.
It's more the rural background that he comes from. So
Yeah.
it's the fact that he's a villager more than the fact that he's a farmer really.
And also, I suppose I can understand that it's nicer and neater to sort of club it together, and you'd be able to describe the film in one line. But I don't think you'd be able to do it with this film. So at best, one could say that it's maybe about alienation, maybe about migration, and also about rural and urban divide in India. But those are much larger
And
themes.
about survival also.
And also complete. It celebrates India completely. There's this film, for whatever you're seeing, is actually celebrating India. But it's difficult to put it down in one sentence.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, because also what I found fascinating about Anusha's script is that while it is about rural India and people in a village, and obviously they are facing troubles and difficulties, but they are, contrary to what we have seen or imagined people with difficulties or problems, they are not like morose and two-dimensional people. They are full-bodied, vibrant people with all kinds of emotions that you and I face as well.
It is that survival instinct that goes on, making people survive this, and they survive it really well.